So here's what I found on Saturday video. I'm doing it from the other part of my basement outside of my office here, which is a little bit more cheery looking than my messy office. Hopefully, as we get into the summer and I have more time to do different kinds of videos, I can do more than just these. Here's what I went out and found. But right now, Saturday's all I got. Saturday's the day I source. Saturday's the day I do most of the listing. I stay up most of the night. Sunday I finish the listings and then I do the packing. And then I really don't mess with too much other than packing during the course of the week because I just don't have the time to do it. So it's really important for me to get as many of the listings done as I can today. And I just don't have the time to learn the video editing like I hope to. Plus, I'm still kind of nervous about taking the camera to the sales. I don't know if it's in me to strap it to my chest or to wear on my backpack like other people do. I do take my father-in-law with me to the sales. So I told him today he's not there to buy. He's just there for entertainment. I told him today I'm going to give him the camera and he can kind of film all the different stuff that would probably give him something to do. So uh, we'll see how it goes, but I definitely hope to get better at video. So I'm doing more than just this kind of video. But for today, that's the kind of video I'm doing. So I'm just going to kind of go over what I found today. It was a decent day, no home runs, and I really kind of had to work at it. But overall, this was a pretty decent day for me, all things considered. I started the day by picking up one of these Sony under cabinet radios. I've sold probably I want to say 6 or 7 of these, some in better shape than others. This one here was $5 initially, and it did not have the remote initially. And so I offered them 3, and they said they would take it. And so I asked them, "Hey, do you have the remote?" And first they're like, "No, no," and then they just decided, "Man, maybe we do have it." And so the lady started digging through some boxes in the back of the garage, and she came up with it. And so I gave them the extra $2 for it because the remote actually, the last time I had one of these a couple weeks ago, I had to buy the remote. I got the unit for $3. I had to go online and buy the remote for $13. So it was definitely worth that extra 2 for them to find the remote. The other key thing besides having a remote for these is making sure that it has the mounting hardware, the 4 screws and then these spacers. That's very important. Having those and having the remote really makes it easier to sell and really increases the value of these. The last 2 of these that I had, I sold for $70, and I sold them fairly quickly. I found that they kind of fluctuate in popularity. I've had some, the first few I sold really fast, and then the next few kind of took a while, and then these last couple have done really well and sold pretty fast. And I definitely think part of it, the remote, not only on this, but on something like combo units, very important, I think. Increases the value and makes it much easier to sell and sell quicker. So I picked that up. I gave them the $5. I anticipate getting hopefully 60 or 70 as long as it works. Not to jinx myself, but I've never had one of these that didn't work as far as turning on and the CD player playing. But we'll see. I had an opportunity later in the day to buy another one as well, but it didn't have the mounting hardware. It didn't have the remote. It was very dirty on this side of it. And it was kind of weird because the lady, I kind of looked at it and I was like, wow, that's kind of dirty. And the lady goes, yeah, that's why I turned it over. So it's almost like she was trying to hide the dirt and stuff. And if you don't have the remote and you don't have the mounting hardware, it's tough to sell. They're going to be worth more like 20 if you're lucky, pushing it maybe 30. And to me, it's just not worth it. It's got to have most of that stuff. There's one other thing that comes with this. It didn't come with this one, and I'm not even sure what it does. I think it might hold the remote, but I'm not even sure. And I don't think that's going to be important to the sale of it. I could be totally wrong, but I think having that is going to be the key, the mounting hardware and the remote. So that was, I want to say, the first sale of the day, but it was the first thing that I bought. Um, Went to a small neighborhood sale that was really pretty wretched, high prices and a lot of kid stuff. But I did find that in the last sale that I went to in that neighborhood. I wanted to go to another sale that had advertised the combo unit, but they didn't open till 9. I drove by at 8:30. They weren't open. So I ran up to this other sale that was on day 3. That was a couple miles away, and she had advertised that last day she was going to sell everything for $1 or less. So I picked up a couple of small things there that I think are worth it. This Crayola tin, some kind of special Crayola tin. It's new, sealed. There's a couple of solds. They look like they sell for about $15. And so, a couple of pictures, dump it in the mail. I don't know that it's going to sell fast, but it should be an easy $10 or $12. So that was fine. This Wonder Sandwich Sealer and Decruster. Surprisingly enough, these sell for about $15. And it's new. And I know some resellers on their videos say that they don't scan at sales, they don't look things up. I do. I scan, I look things up, I try to be discreet. I'm probably sometimes not as discreet as I would like to be, but I don't have a storage unit. I don't plan on getting a storage unit. I do have a fairly good sized basement, but I'm not going to fill it up with the stuff that I plan on selling. Uh, I've got probably 4 or 5 shelves in there, and that's about as far as I want to go with it. I'm never going to have 1,000 or 2,000 items in my store. That's just not going to be my model. Probably will never be full time. Part time, full time in the summer, yes, but mainly part time throughout the year. And even if I retire in 10 years, I still plan on just maintaining part time status, really. And so I try to be really careful about what I buy. Things that I think sell fairly quickly. Doesn't always work out that way, but that's the goal. And so I do look stuff up, and I know it probably slows me down a little bit, but that's just my way of doing things, right? Um, so that should net me $10 or $12 probably. I bought this. I'm not even sure what it does. Some kind of workout thing. I initially thought it was brand new, but I'm thinking maybe it was opened and maybe used briefly. Um, so I was thinking initially it would sell for about $20, and now that I'm thinking it's not so new, it's still probably going to sell for about $12, I think. And so for the dollar that I have in on it, that's fine. And these things, whatever they are, actually sell decently. I think there's as many solds as there is availables, and there are some that are used, so I'm fine with that. The last thing I bought at that sale, which I probably shouldn't have bought, was this mouth guard that I guess tastes like bubble gum. I don't know. I scanned it and it looked like they were selling for like 15 bucks or so, and so I typically wouldn't do this. She wanted $1, and I offered her 50 cents because I still kind of wasn't so sure about it. And she hemmed and hawed, but she took it. And then I got home and took a closer look, and there's actually no solds for the bubblegum flavor. Uh, so I just priced mine as cheap as I could, and at some point it'll probably sell, and I'll make $5. But if I had to do it again, I probably wouldn't have bought it. It was early in the day, and sometimes I tend to buy things early in the day when I don't have a lot in the car that I wouldn't buy later in the day when I have more stuff in the car. But that's fine. So the next sale, once that was over, was for this combo unit on the bottom. And so I paid up for this. I actually paid $17 for this, which is a lot, granted. It does have the remote, and she did have it hooked up to a TV so that it could be tested. So I tested both sides while I was there. She actually wanted 25, and I got her down to 17, and she said okay because it was the first sale of the day, and she was actually really surprised that it sold that fast. I can easily sell this locally for $45 or $50, okay, which would give me a profit of about $30, and I'm fine with that. So I'll either try to do that, maybe I'll put it on eBay, but more likely I'll probably just sell it locally and make $30 on it. And even if it didn't, these remotes, these Sony combo remotes, I find are kind of expensive. I've had Sony combos in the past that I wanted to get remotes for, and they were just so darn expensive. So, um, it works, so it's fine. But obviously I wouldn't have bought it without the remote. The combo unit on the top was actually, which was a kind of a small neighborhood sale in the city that I live outside of. And I asked her how much she wanted. They didn't have prices. Like, I don't think they have prices on anything. And I asked her how much she wanted, and she said $5. And of course she says it works. They always say that it works. So, and it's got the remote. And so I offered her 3. And she said fine. They were just looking to get rid of stuff. They combined households or something like that. And so even if it doesn't work, the remote itself is worth $3, certainly. So if it does work, we know that it's probably going to be worth more like 50, 60, something like that. And again, combo units sell very well locally for me. I probably sell just as many, if not more, combo units locally than I do on eBay, which is nice because I don't have to worry so much about the scammers. I don't have to take time to pack, that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure what I'll do. I've got a number of them, and I don't like to have them all listed at the same time locally. So we'll see. Some of them are probably going to go on eBay. This one probably not, but maybe this one. And then when I'm over here, this remote here I picked up later in the day for $1. This is a Panasonic DVD remote. This will work with the DVD recorders, and I've picked up 2 of those in the last couple of months. One of which I had to buy a remote for, and I found out that these remotes are kind of interchangeable between the units. So that even though I got one, it looked like this one, but it wasn't the actual one that came with the unit, but it worked fine. And so I was able to get that one for like $3 or $4 as opposed to like $12 it would have cost to get the actual official remote that went with that unit, but it worked fine. And the remotes help sell these things, whether it's the DVD recorders or the combo units. I think the remotes are really important, especially if I'm going to put it on eBay. The remotes pay for themselves, and the higher sales price and the faster sale, really. If something doesn't have a remote and the remote's going to cost a lot, like a Philips combo unit, the remote costs $20, I'll just sell it locally for less without the remote. But for something like this or one of those DVD recorders, I think it's really important, and it really increases the value to have the remote control. So this one only cost me $1. The battery compartment looked pretty clean, and I'm sure at some point I'm going to run into one of those DVD recorders again, and I'm going to be real happy that I have the remote to go with it, because oftentimes they don't have the remotes when you find them out there in the wild. So coming back over here, I picked up a TI-84, which of course is nice. The only problem is, if you can see it there, it's got some black spots on the screen. Works fine. A little dirty here too, but of course the black spots are going to decrease the value some, but I've sold them with black spots before. I'm not sure if I'm going to sell it now or if I'm going to hold on to it till school time, because it looks like the values of these are, down just a little bit. But for $3, I think that was a good buy. I think even right now, I would think I could probably get like $40 for it, even with those black spots. But like I said, I may wait. I may wait another month or two. I know the schools in the South go back to school quicker than we do here in the North. Another sale I went to, I bought some Wen. I bought a couple of bottles of Wen here. If you don't know about this stuff sells. I just got done selling 9 bottles of it that I picked up at an estate sale. May not sell overnight, but it'll sell fairly quickly. I actually bought a bunch of Wen from the same house last year, and I asked her if she had more. I don't typically do that kind of stuff, but I was like, hey, do you got any more Wen that you want to sell? And she's like, oh, I wish I did. So I paid like $3.50 for this, and it'll sell for probably $18 or $19. And it's really easy to ship, and it's sealed and all that kind of stuff. So it's not big money, but it's easy money. Like I said, it'll sell pretty quickly. At the same sale, this will sell even faster, is Arbonne. I've sold some Arbonne stuff, not a ton. Haven't seen it much, but when I do get it, it sells fast. If you look at the solds compared to what's available, the stuff goes really quick. And so I paid like $3.50 for this, and this will probably go for about 30. So nice little pickup there. This here, that one combo unit I got for $3, I picked this up as well, and I know nothing about this. I saw in John's video last week or something, he talked about having some flares. I was just kind of listening in the background or whatever, but it's sealed, so anything that's sealed kind of gets my attention. And so this is a marine signal kit, and again, I scanned it, and it looked like they were going for pretty good money. I didn't see any that were exactly like this, but I saw a lot of this Orion flare kind of stuff, and it looked like it was selling well. There was like hardly any available. I'm not saying there's a ton of solds, but no price. So I asked the price, and the guy started giving me the, well, what do you want to pay? And those things are $100 new. And finally, he just said $5, and I was ready to say fine. And then he of course pointed out that it is expired, and so I wasn't real sure how that would affect the value. So I gave him $3 for it, and then when I got home and I researched a little more, there's a number of them that are sold that are expired. So I don't know what I'm gonna get for it. I think I'll get I don't know. I think I'm gonna get at least 30, but I'm gonna price it higher and see what happens. I don't know, but I don't think I'm gonna lose money at $3. That's for sure. Okay, moving on. I picked up one, two, three breast pumps. Um, some of you may know that the breast pumps definitely sell, and they sell well and fast. Um, I bought one for $5. Lady wanted 10. I offered her 5. She took it. She didn't seem real happy, but she took it. The other two I bought at one sale. The lady wanted $25 a piece. I offered her 20 for both, and she took it. It was kind of late in the day, and I think she just wanted to get rid of it. And the funny thing was, she had like bottles. She goes, "Oh, I got a bunch of bottles to go with that." And I was like, "I really don't want the bottles." And she kind of looked at me strange. She's like, "Well, I really want to keep it all together." And so I took the bottles. I'm gonna put them in my donation pile. I don't know if it's really something that can be donated or not, but I have no use for them. I'm not having any more babies, or my wife's not having any more babies, so um, I'm not gonna sell them. So they're gonna go bye bye. But these I'm gonna sell just like this, and I'm gonna lot them together, and I'm gonna bet that I get somewhere between $100 and $120, and I'm gonna bet that I get it fairly quickly. And then the chargers I'm gonna hold off on, and when I get 6 chargers together, and I think those 3 will make 4, I'm going to sell those for $30. I'm going to put them in a regional A box, and I'm going to make some money off of them as well. Probably pay for about 2/3 of these 3 breast pumps. So if you don't know about breast pumps, you need to know about them. You need to start buying them because they're such an easy sale. And you don't even have to include the adapters. Test them, don't include the adapters. Most of them are going overseas anyways. You're going to find that it's going to be an Asian buyer, and their plan is to just get it from you and ship it somewhere else. They got some other kind of business going on. So um, easy, easy money for sure. At the Goodwill, I picked these up, and I believe these are clickers. I'm thinking they're for like, you can program maybe for garage door openers, I'm thinking. I got 5 of them. They're brand new. I got them all for $2. It looks like they're selling for about $10 to $12 a piece. So it's not big money, but it's easy money. So to me, that's a no-brainer. I should be able to make 40 or 40 to $50, I think, depending when all is said and done. At the Goodwill, I also picked up this bat, this TPX Omaha, which didn't have great sales.